Hello, and welcome to American Era and Wargaming. This is a battle report from Modulorka, the Orky skirmish wargame, published by Mr. Modulorka. My opponent and I started by randomly selecting a battlefield, primary and secondary mission, battlefield condition, and a secret event to be revealed at the end of turn 2. Like usual, we only chose amongst those battlefields supporting the 30 points per side forces, and primary missions which only last 4 turns. We were playing over a lunch break and wanted a shorter game. Our battlefield was De Walls, so we would be facing off across a bookended field. The primary mission was This Is Ours, where each of the 3 placed objective markers gives out a victory point each turn to the player who has more models within a 3-inch control bubble. The secondary mission was Assassination, where one player would need to nominate a model in their force to be the target. If they get killed, the killer earns 3 victory points. If they survive to the end of the game, then the controlling side gets 3 points. As for the battlefield condition, we got Bogged Down, which reduces all normal movement actions by 2 inches. I wanted to try out some new stuff on the table today. From the October Zombies release, I had Busta with his specialty Plasma Blasta, Jazork with his Mega Bludger and ability to heal after hitting an enemy, and the sneaky Dagzon, who carries a crossbow and a knife, but possesses the unique ability to swap positions with anyone on his team. Since those guys cost 10, 10, and 8 points, I only had 2 left. So I figured I'd try something else new and add in one of the Goblin Trenches, who always count as being in partial cover. He was armed simply with a rifle. My opponent was much less worried about getting bogged down than I was. They had a boss biker with a fire axe, Molotov and Flame-A-Tank. Then there were 3 dirt bikers, 1 with a fire axe and 2 with regular flamers. We rolled for the assassination secondary mission, and I had to pick which of my orcs would be the target. I chose Jazork, since I figured that with his large health pool and ability to heal, he was the least likely to die. Then we built up the terrain. We don't have many straight walls, so we used these corners to approximate a line. It was a bit tricky to leave enough room for my opponent's larger bases on the smaller map. The 30-point matches are all in smaller maps. Though, as I was writing this, I discovered that we're still making mistakes. This should have been played on a 30 by 22-inch mat, not the 24 square we've been using. Whoops, we'll have to fix that next time. Then we placed the markers for the This Is Ours objectives. Fortunately for me, I got to place 2 of them. This let me put them closer to my deployment area and mitigate some of the issues I'd be having with the bogged down condition. I only had foot sloggers, so they were going to be moving pretty slowly. While my opponent's bikes would also be slowed, they had a lot more movement to start with, and thus wouldn't be as negatively impacted. And then we got deployed. The boss biker and one of the bikers were facing off against Jazork and Busta, and the other 2 bikers were right across from Daxon and the Trencher. My opponent got the initiative for turn 1, but since all of their models have the rash keyword, they all get to go before my lads anyways. A lucky Molotov from the boss biker splashed Jazork and Busta, though Jazork was able to dodge the flames. The rest of the turn was mostly pushing up. Daxon and the Trencher controlled 1 point, but my opponent was able to fit 2 bikes into controlling 2 points at the same time. Jazork charged up and cleaved 2 damage into the boss biker. In the end, we each claimed 1 victory point from the objectives. Turn 2 was technically mine to start, but again, not really because of the rash keyword. One of the Flame-A-Bikers moved around and then hosed Daxon and the Trencher down with fire. The boss biker took a swat at Jazork and connected, but I didn't counter because I had a sneaky plan. One of the other bikers moved up to control the point in the middle, freeing up the other 2 to push on the objective that Daxon was holding down. As my leader, he counts as 2 models for the purposes of determining control. As the Trencher activated, he fried to a crisp, and was immediately replaced by a Rebel Gob who looks and behaves exactly like he does. That's a nice and easy feature. Busta missed his shot to take down the biker in the middle, and then Daxon used his sneaking ability to swap places with Jazork, who then knocked one of the bikers to the ground. I earned the VP from the left objective, since with my Lita and Busta I owned it now 3-2. The one on the right was a draw since each side had 2 models around it, but the one in the middle was easy pickings for my opponent. At the end of turn 2, we revealed our event, Battle Fatigue. Nobody would be able to use the rally action to pick up down models. Not that we were likely to anyways. Then it was on to turn 3. Jazork and the Rebel God took some damage from the flames, but between Jazork's healing factor when he hits in melee and the Rebel's infinite respawn glitch, we were able to pull ahead in control when Jazork knocked the dismounted biker down. Despite having the best aim score on the table, Busta continued to miss while shooting at the other biker. Daxon tussled with the boss biker, but was not long for the world. Once he activated, he got knocked down too by the fire. This turn was better for my opponent in scoring. With Daxon down, control of the left point went to them, as well as the middle one. I still claimed 1 point from the right one, fortunately, which brought us to the final turn. The boss biker moved in to hit Busta, but wasn't going to be able to take him out in 1 turn. Not that he needed to, as he could control that point on his own. But Busta was able to hit the boss and the biker in the back with his Plasma Blasta, which was cool, even if it didn't make a difference in the end. On the other side, we continued the dance of Jazork and the Rebel getting flamed, then Jazork healing from a hit, and the Rebel needing to respawn. In the end, it came down to whether or not the Rebel Gob would respawn after getting taken down. If he didn't, then control on the right objective would be tied. I needed to score that one, as my opponent was going to be taking points from the left and center objectives again. Fortunately, the 2-up roll for the Rebels' respawn was good, so I was able to get that one extra victory point. Since Jazork survived to the end, I earned 3 more VP, which got me the win by a single point. This was a slower paced but a very tight game. If Busta had made any of his earlier shots, it would have swung more in my favor. But if the Rebel had failed any of its respawns, it could have gone the other way. Or even if I hadn't gotten to place 2 of the objective markers, my opponent could have put them further away, making it harder for me to get there in time and score points. One of the most interesting things about Modulorka is how many crazy swings there can be at a few different points. Possible to have a runaway effect, but fortunately in this case, it led to a fun, close game. That's it for now, and don't forget, we's the best.